180 minutes out from hearing the WNBA is in a lockout. Yup, that's right. We are 1 week away from the WNBA releasing a statement, from the Players Association releasing a statement, letting us all know a deal hasn't been agreed upon. There has been no deal made, and there currently is a lockout. All these players rehabbing at facilities. See ya. Wouldn't want to be it. Yeah, Caitlin, that includes you.
Some people are saying the players aren't really negotiating. They just want everything their way. One observer even called it a hold-up. The tension's rising fast, and now we're just days away from a possible lockout. The Players Association fired back at Adam Silver, accusing the league of bad math and trying to undervalue their contributions. But Silver didn't hold back either. He responded firmly, saying their entire proposal was flawed from the start and that he wouldn't let their narrative take over. Get ready.
The players' side. Thank you, Adam Silver, for stepping up and being the adult in the room. Both sides of these ladies have been acting just like kids. They've been acting like kids. You got the players demanding certain things just because they feel like Caitlin Clark has it, like personal security and all types of stuff. This has been nonsense. This has been nonsense. It looked like there's been no progression, and Adam Silver is stepping in and making sure that the CBA gets done. We are going to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification. Let's rock.
So, the clock is seriously ticking. We're down to just 68 hours before the WNBA could face a lockout. And this isn't just about big names like Caitlin Clark. It affects every player, especially those without major endorsement deals or solid financial cushions. Imagine facilities shutting down, stopping crucial rehab and training for players like Sophie Cunningham or Cindy Colson. That means a lot of athletes could lose their entire livelihood. The idea of the season just stopping casts a huge shadow over basketball right now. And honestly, everyone's on edge.
The behavior that we've seen from the Players Association is nothing shy of immature. It's nothing short of, oh, goodness gracious. I don't know how. Team Kathy over here. Team WNBA. Team WNBA owners over here. Yeah. Just give them a raise in salary. Whatever, screw the percentage. Just give them a raise in salary and call it a day. Just give them a raise in salary, give them some amenities, 50% of jersey sales, call it a day. That's not good enough. They want 50%, the term that we've heard.
Listen, the WNBA executive director, Terry Carmichael Jackson, completely went off. She accused the league of trying to run down the clock and, get this, put lipstick on a pig when it comes to player pay. She believes the entire system is designed to undervalue players, even though they're the ones driving the league's growth. The Players Association also pushed back hard on the league's transparency, especially after management called a part of their proposal uncapped. That one comment blew everything up, making these negotiations.
He's called things out like, yeah, Kathy needs to work to have a better relationship with the players. He said that. He's also said, yeah, it seems like things are getting a little bit really personal. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real catty and personal, as things tend to get when women get to going back and forth and all of this stuff. Adam Silver stepping in and saying, hey, I'm going to make sure that there's a 2026 WNBA season. I'm going to make sure this CBA gets done, and I'm going to make sure it's fair for both parties. This whole revenue sharing thing, we're not doing that because the NBA...
Now, the league didn't stay quiet either. They fired right back at the Players Association with a strong letter saying their claims were simply incorrect and, honestly, surprising. A WNBA spokesperson flat out denied that they haven't offered an uncapped revenue-sharing model, saying, no, our proposal actually includes a system where player pay increases directly with league revenue, with no cap on the upside. This whole back and forth just shows how differently both sides see the financial picture.
Give up something, I give up something. You give up something, I give up something. The problem that we have here is that the players don't want to give up anything. They're just demanding everything. Let me say that one more time. The players don't want to give up anything, but they are demanding everything. That's not called a negotiation. kind of called a holdup, right? The only thing is, ain't too much to hold up. Let's get into the Players Association responding to Adam Silver. Please like the video, comment, subscribe.
This, league officials are super frustrated. They're saying it doesn't help for the Players Association to misrepresent their proposals while also blaming the league for delays. The league claims it has presented major comprehensive proposals that would benefit everyone. But according to them, the Players Association hasn't offered any real economic counter-proposals. On top of that, the league says the union keeps refusing to even discuss many of the terms already on the table. It sounds like a total stonewall, dragging out uncertainty for both players and fans.
Adam Silver stepping in and said, hey, I'm going to make sure that there's a 2026 WNBA season. I'm going to make sure this CBA gets done, and I'm going to make sure it's fair for both parties. This whole revenue sharing thing, we're not doing that because the NBA makes way more money than the WNBA. But I can give you a hard number that you guys need to accept where you'll be happy with the money. All this other nonsense trying to play in this league, that league, trying to get everything Caitlin Clark got, it ain't happening. Adam Silver stepping in, being the adult in the...
Frustration got really personal. One commentator completely went in, calling the Players Association's negotiators spiteful and delusional individuals. Wow, that came from what they saw as an our demands or nothing attitude. It's like the union wouldn't even show up to the table unless every single demand was met. No compromises. So instead of normal back-and-forth negotiation, it feels more like a one-sided ultimatum. And that's only...
Give up anything, but they are demanding everything. That's not called a negotiation. That's kind of called a holdup, right? The only thing is, ain't too much to hold up. Let's get into the Players Association responding to Adam Silver. Please like the video, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's get into it. WNBA Executive Director Terry Carmichael Jackson's statement in response to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. When the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear they wanted a salary system.
But here's the thing. Adam Silver really broke down the players' big demand for a 50% revenue share. He basically said, look, a percentage share isn't the right way to think about this. He pointed out the massive revenue difference between the NBA and WNBA, explaining that comparing percentages directly is misleading. Instead, Silver argued that the focus should be on the actual dollar amounts players are earning. That direct pushback from the commissioner completely shifted the conversation, forcing the Players Association to confront the economic reality of their league.
All this other nonsense trying to play in this league, that league, trying to get everything Caitlin Clark got, it ain't happening. Adam Silver stepping in, being the adult in the room, and putting his foot down. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and there's also an article with more.
Your WNBA, as you know, they're calling for players in the WNBA are calling for more money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Even though Silver shut down the revenue share idea, he did extend an olive branch. He confidently stated that WNBA players are going to see a huge pay increase in this new bargaining cycle, and added that they deserve it. This promise of significant raises, separate from the tricky revenue-sharing model, was meant to directly address players' concerns about compensation. His public statement validated their efforts and showed that the league is serious about improving their financial situation.
Has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. The fact that the league now wants to call any part of its proposal, quote, uncapped, is precisely why its leadership, transparency, and accountability are being challenged right now. So the league is calling you guys a bunch of pigs. Okay. What the league and teams are really trying to do is not only limit the cost of labor, but also contain it through an artificial salary system that isn't tied to the business the players are building in any real or meaningful way. You know they know it's bad when the...
Now, When you look at the current WNBA salary structure, it really shows the financial struggles players face. Standard salaries range from around $66,000 to $204,000, all under a modest $1.5 million team salary cap. These numbers completely fuel the players' frustration. You saw them wearing those "Pay Us" protest shirts at the All-Star game, a clear message highlighting how unhappy they are with their current earnings. There's a major gap between what they contribute and what they're paid.
Money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Yes. I mean, I think the share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making, and they are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it.
All right, you heard him. The word share is not the right way to look at this because the NBA is bringing in so much more revenue than the WNBA. So he's letting it be known. Listen.
What's wild is that players are now directly using the influence of stars like Caitlin Clark in their demands. They're pushing for things like personal security, even citing Clark's own experiences. Plus, they're calling for broader benefits and softer salary caps. And get this, the Players Association is even seeking historical pay adjustments for former players dating back to the 1999 and 2002 seasons. That adds so many layers to these talks. Some commentators are calling these demands excessive, and it's definitely making an already complicated negotiation.
Wholeheartedly believe these are spiteful, entitled, delusional individuals. We have our demands, and if you can't meet our demands, we're not coming to the table. Does that sound about right to you guys? Sounds right to me. We stand ready to continue negotiating in good faith and hope they will do the same so that we can finalize a mutually beneficial new CBA as quickly as possible. Yeah, I agree. Whatever the league says, I'm going to agree with. Anti-Players Association over here.
And now, this whole dispute has spilled into politics. More than 70 elected officials from across the U.S., including some major names, have stepped in directly. They sent a powerful letter to both WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, urging them to negotiate in good faith and finalize a fair CBA before that critical October 31st deadline. This kind of external pressure from lawmakers adds yet another layer of scrutiny and urgency to an already high-stakes situation.
So much more revenue than the WNBA. So he's letting it be known. Listen, that whole revenue share thing, y'all need to knock it off. Y'all need to knock it off. Shout out to Christian S on Twitter, and shout out to Oh No He Didn't. I got that one from Oh No He Didn't on Twitter. Christian S posted this article. Adam Silver says he expects big raises for WNBA players in new CBA and that they deserve it. This is an article on Fox Sports, okay? This is on Fox. Let's take a look at this article, man. Adam Silver stepping up and being the adult in the room. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
What's more, the Players Association has a controversial history that's raising eyebrows. This is the same group that once tried to have a journalist's credentials revoked just for doing her job. They actively attempted to derail her career and livelihood. Behavior like that makes people question the union's judgment and integrity. It's tough for some to side with them in these negotiations, especially when their current demands are being seen as increasingly unreasonable.
This is a Players Association that tried to get a person's credentials removed for, quote, doing her job. I'm not taking that side, ever. Ever. Right? Once we have that epiphany moment, wait, these are people that made up a situation in their mind, felt so much offense to it, felt like they were a victim to a person doing their job. They went out of their way to actually get this person removed from her job and had her credentials pulled. They're literally trying to take money out of her pocket, strip her from a way she earns for her family.
And the thing is, a lot of people believe WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert herself has become a major obstacle to reaching a deal. Critics argue that there's been absolutely no progress under her leadership, and one commentator even called for her removal. Reportedly, players are refusing to negotiate key terms as long as Engelbert remains in charge. This deep animosity and total lack of trust between the Players Association and the commissioner highlight how desperately leadership change might be needed to move forward.
October 31st. That deadline is approaching rapidly, you guys. It's approaching very, very fast. Adam Silver made clear WNBA players will be getting big raises. Speaking on NBC's Today in advance of Tuesday night's season opening NBA doubleheader on that network, Silver responded to a question about whether WNBA players should get a larger share of that league's revenues. And his quote was, "Share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. Facts." Silver said, "I think you should look at it in absolute numbers."
Meanwhile, amid all this escalating tension, Mark Davis, owner of the championship-winning Las Vegas Aces, offered a completely different perspective. He emphasized that everyone needs to come together, rejecting this idea of two sides in conflict. Davis urged all parties to focus on one shared goal, building a better future for the league. His call for unity and a collective vision stands out against all the fighting and accusations.
To quote, bargain in good faith to reach a fair CBA in a timely manner before the October 31st deadline. The only fair deal in these players' eyes is everything they are demanding. They're not asking, they're demanding. They're not negotiating, they're demanding. They're not coming to the table because they're not getting what they demand. Remember, they're not willing to give up anything. They just want everything.
So now, Adam Silver has really stepped in as the adult in the room. He's taken control of negotiations that had grown chaotic and unproductive. Silver even stated publicly that WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert needs to build a stronger relationship with the players, calling out how personal and catty these discussions have become. His involvement is seen as absolutely crucial, not just to secure a fair collective bargaining agreement, but to ensure there even is a 2026 WNBA season.
WNBA this past season ranged from 66,000 to 249,000, with teams operating under a salary cap of $1.5 million. It says WNBA players want much more in the next CBA. Players at this season's WNBA All-Star Game warmed up in shirts saying, "Pay us what you owe us," a clear message how they are unhappy with current salary levels. The Vegas Aces owner also has something to say about this. We'll get into that. It says the players exercise their right to opt out of the current CBA with hopes of getting, among other things, increased.
Adam Silver didn't hold back either, calling out the increasingly personal and petty tone of these disputes. He admitted that talks had become emotionally charged, drifting far from objective business discussions. His acknowledgement of that personal tension reflects what many observers have been feeling, but it also signals his intent to refocus everything on professionalism, logic, and progress. Now, because of the complexity of the issues, the deep disagreements, and the Players Association's rigid stance, a brand new deal before October 31st seems unlikely. Many insiders believe an extension of the current CBA is the most realistic outcome. Still, Silver's public promise that players will see significant pay increases, no matter what, provides some much-needed reassurance for the league's future. This entire high-stakes standoff, with Silver stepping in so firmly, has exposed the raw power dynamics shaping the WNBA. From lockout, threats to accusations of delusional demands, and now even political involvement, the future of women's professional basketball is hanging in the balance. Silver's push for focusing on absolute numbers instead of percentage-based revenue sharing, combined with his pledge for substantial raises, marks a truly pivotal moment. The outcome of all this isn't just about salaries, it's about